Now we will add some images to our website. Let's click to edit the page. We'll click here to place our caret because that's where we want our first image to go, and click the Images button. Now this is going to bring up our images library, and the only thing in there right now is our default header image, which we'll be changing later. So let's go ahead and upload another image. The first thing we'll do is select the size that we want our image to be. This will compress the image down to the proper dimensions and optimize it for quick loading. Now there's quite a few sizes to choose from, so let's examine what they mean. 1000 pixels is the maximum size for any image going into a table cell. Anything wider than this, and you'll end up with horizontal scrolling on mobile devices, and that's bad. Now if you're uploading a background image, you would use the 1400 pixel setting. For example, our header background image is 1400 pixels. And that's because background images auto-stretch to fit the browser window. We also have the option of uploading a full-size uncompressed image, but I wouldn't recommend this. I've seen people use this and then they wonder why their website takes forever to load. It's because their images are too large and not optimized for the web. And of course, 500 pixels would be half the page width, and the rest is self-explanatory. Also, keep in mind that these options will only compress your images. So if the image you're uploading is, let's say, 450 pixels wide, and you select 600, it will not make your image larger. You never want to increase the size of an image, because then it gets pixelated and looks really bad. So these options will only compress and optimize your images, but not expand them. So for this image, I just want it to be 200 pixels wide. Then I click Upload New Image, and select the file from my computer, and let the system upload it. And there it is, in my library. Let's go ahead and upload a few more. Okay, now let's place an image on our page. We simply click on the image we want, and it puts that image in the preview window. It also adds the file path to the URL box. And we have some settings here. The first one is border. We're going to leave it on yes. We're not going to set alignment yet, and we'll leave the other two blank. Down here it shows you the dimensions of the image, and you can change those if you want. Let's go ahead and insert. And there it is. Now this doesn't look right. Images will show up on the line of the text where you place them, and since the image is much larger than the text, it looks weird. What we want is for the text to wrap around the image, so let's fix that. We click on the image to select it, then click the Images button, which you can see is already highlighted in blue, and here we see that it's already selected. We want the image to align to the left of the text and have the text wrap around it. Let's also add rounded corners. We'll add a radius of 5 pixels. Now we click Update, and our image is aligned to the left of our text, which wraps around it. Now if we click on the image, we can drag the corner to resize it. But remember, you only want to downsize, because if you increase the size, it gets pixelated. Okay, let's go up to the header. But before we do, let's click Save Changes for our page. Now we click the Header button to edit the header. And remember, the header has the image placed as content with the floating inner table on top. So we can click to select the image. Click the Images button and change it to whatever we want. And we recommend the width is 1400 pixels for any background images that will stretch to fit the browser. Up here we have a button for stock images. And it's basically a long list of royalty-free background images. All of them are 1400 pixels by 550 pixels. So you can scroll down to see if there's anything you like. And if so, you click the Add button. And it gets added to your library. We periodically add to this list so you can check back now and then for new images. And if you don't see anything that fits your needs, that's okay. On our help page, we have tons of links to websites where you can download royalty-free, high-quality images, and I'll show you that shortly. Let's go back to our images. And there's the image we added, so let's select it. By the way, I want you to notice the settings. Because it's a background image that stretches to fit the page, this button down here is purple, meaning that the image is set to full page. Otherwise, the button would be black. And when an image is set to full page, the border is off, the alignment is not set, there's no radius, and the CSS ID is set to full page. The width is also 100% and height is blank. These are the settings you want for all background images. So let's click Update. And we have our new image in the background of the header. Okay, now let's add a logo to the header. We click in the table cell, and we're going to insert a column before. And click to place our caret in that tiny little cell. Click Images. This time we want it to be 200 pixels wide. Upload new image. Let's select it. And there it is. Let's select it. Insert. And there it is. Now this logo is a PNG file, which means it can have a transparent background as opposed to a JPEG, which can only have a solid background. And this one, like most logos, has a transparent background because it's a graphic as opposed to a picture. So having a border around it looks bad. So let's get rid of it. Put the header back in edit mode. Click on it. Click Images. Border, no. Update. That's much better. Now, I think it's a little too large because our company name got messed up. So let's resize it. There we go. Perfect. And of course, you want to make sure you save your changes. And that's it. Oh, one last thing. Let's go to the help page. Scroll down to the free resource links. And here, we have tons of places to go for royalty-free images. And over here are free image editors if you want to tweak your images or maybe place your logo and company name right on the header image or whatever. We also offer custom header design if you want us to do it for you. And you can even use Google to search for images. But here's how you do it. Let's say we were searching for sports cars. We would click the Images button, Search Tools, Usage Rights, and select Labeled for Reuse. This means you are allowed to reuse the image without violating copyright. Also, you can select the size, depending on if it's going to be a large background image or small or medium image on the page. Pretty simple. So that's it for images.